another daily cast here. It will be Tyrion and GreenSpirit against Aviator, and you're a wizard, Larry. So we're gonna call him Wizard. Will be easier for everybody. I'll probably mess it up though. So we are arriving just as Wave 1 starts, and we do have on everybody, but Tyrion, the only one we're seeing yes now. It is onto a nightmare, so we'll be fine here. We also have the Fire Elemental start from GreenSpirit, Aviator going for the Desert Pilgrim start. Kind of a slow start, to be honest, and quite a weird positioning from it. So we're gonna see how it develops. But we also have a Washroom start from Wizard, and he did not receive a 20 cent here. He will receive the 20 here. Does GreenSpirit decide to go for the full 40 cent here, or does it decide to play it safe? Wizard did decide to go for the 4 worker start, so he was waiting to see if he received the 20 before pushing, and so this means that he will be able to hold that 20, and we have GreenSpirit going full. So this allows Wizard to go for 6 workers potentially. Let's see what he decides to do. It can still be vulnerable to a resend, but I do think that it could be in a good position with the Atom in the split. We do have 5 worker on everybody as of now, and that's despite Aviator not exactly having the 5th worker early, and just exploiting the 20 on 1. He did go for a positioning of the washroom quite far from the Pilgrim, which is invincible for whatever reasons. And Aviator going for some income here, and this income allows him to have the 6th worker if he does get sent here. So that's a nice reaction to if he receives a send, he goes instantly for the 6th worker, but he will be keeping it to potentially get something a bit bigger next wave. And with the income and the gold given by the wave, it's a bit far for the canopy and possibly another pilgrim, which is not ideal. So let's see what he decides to do. We do have income only on GreenSpirit, and he will be able to fend it off. And only King Ups here onto the Nightmare player, also able to fend it off. So if you're going for a little bit more income here, he is quite far, 173. And so that is not the canopy he wanted. And so with that amount of gold, he possibly get something like Oathbreaker around here. Or maybe you'd share the aggro here. And he only gets, oh okay, that would be a Green Devil then. Green Devil in the split, potentially. Okay, no, sharing the aggro with the Washroom. I mean, it's still decent. And he was searching for some pierce damage, did not get it. Did end up having egg and boar as also in his role. GreenSpirit receiving the 40 here again. Added the split will be fine. But the most interesting is a 60 cent onto Wizard, and Aviator receiving the 60 as well. But with the Green Devil supported by the Pilgrim, it will allow him to be doing pretty well. Sadly, now the Pilgrim does not tank much, if anything. He does tank a little bit still, but far from what he wanted initially with his positioning. But look at this, the worker push here. 8 workers on Wizard, and he is quite far under. He will be struggling next wave if he doesn't get the canopy. But he thinks that with this amount of worker, he will be able to generate enough income to get it. He is not quite far. He is currently sitting at 59 gold, and that means that he only needs just a little bit more. He doesn't get anything here. He relies on the income he will generate with the additional lithium, or if there's a leak here, the 80 cent here onto the Nightmare is potentially problematic for Tyrion, but the Badger is just sharing aggro perfectly with the Nightmare. But let's see how it goes. The Brute is getting sniped here by both the Badger and the Nightmare, no longer reducing the attack speed. But any leaks helps Wizard to get the canopy on the following wave. You can see here He is at 167. He's missing 13 gold, and 13 gold might be just that here. Yeah, I mean, yes, he will get the 40 cent also if he's missing anything. He is currently at 169. Yeah, he's going for the 60 cent here. We'll get 190 gold. This allows him to get a canopy, so he will be safe here. But GreenSpirit not sending here. Thinking thinking ahead and expecting the canopy, meaning that he has a low chance of leaking him on wave 6. 7 is not an option, so it must be something like a long save to wave 8. But Aviator is putting pressure on GreenSpirit, so it might be a forced send on wave 7 here, just to allow GreenSpirit to survive here. But let's see, the 80 resend onto Tyrion might be problematic. He did not add much. The Oathbreaker is already dying, already having the shared aggro we've seen previously, but now the Nightmare is under a lot more pressure, and it will be dying before killing the Rokos on this side, and that is a massive leak here on Tyrion's side. And GreenSpirit not choosing a send here, knowing he's weak next, forced to send here with the Wool Brutes. Still trying for the break, a bit harder to do when facing a Canopy, but still possible. So we'll see what he decides to do in the end. The workers, 9 workers on Tyrion, 9 workers on Aviator. Aviator does receive 80 here and holds because of Yuan Disciple. Good damage source on that wave. The wave is super long, so this means that GreenSpirit is in trouble next wave. That's the easiest way to put it. Aviator will potentially go on the income though. Knowing how we push and how he plays, only income here, wants to scale here as much as possible, not lose any income to any brutes of any kind, and he's confident that he might be able to leak a GreenSpirit despite not going for a non-income mercenary. A lot of uncertainty here because there's 2 nature defense tank. So it will be, okay, that's a bug. Might need to report that to Lisk. Yeah, so full income send onto Tyrion and GreenSpirit, but non-income send on Aviator and Wizard. We do have double Pilgrim here from Aviator coming in. A little bit unusual, but this gives a lot of time to this, and we do have a backup Eater as well. So the backup Eater will enable the split to go on for a little bit more longer, and time is all you need with Disciple. But the canopy is already down here on the side of Wizard, and so you will see a leak here, a 63% leak onto Wizard, but 48 on GreenSpirit, but we do have a hold in the end for Tyrion. We do have a hold on Aviator as well, pushing to 11 workers. Everybody keeping themselves neck and neck in terms of worker. Aviator just now pushing to the 12th worker because the gold was enabling him to do so. But we might expect Tyrion to do something similar. No, he does not. He wants to be prepared for wave 10. So potentially going for a shift to get the doppelganger on wave 9. So that could be a very good option. The problem is that he will still be vulnerable to wave 11. Luckily for them, they do have Punch Up as an option to counter the 2 aggressive spells there is currently Lizard Army and All of Assault. So we'll decide what the teams decide to do here. 11 workers, only Aviator going to the 12th worker. He is shifting gold as well, so not fully committing to anything. So potentially going for something like a boar. A boar could be potentially very good. Okay, he decides to go for a little gargoyle, but shift the rest. 60 gold shifted. 132 for the wave. He started at 60, 140 in total base, so 270. Looks like a boar to me. We'll see if that is indeed what he will do go for. But the value does recommend that. And more time for the pilgrims to do damage as well as the disciple. Do we see some income sends here? We don't see any income sends from Aviator, so that must say that it is the boar coming in. Is it the board coming in, or is it another disciple? We do have Wizard that is unsure. Okay, no, okay. Yeah, that's another option, going for the Lost Chieftain instead. Does he go for a Chain Fist as a tank here, or does he keep the Gargoyle here? It does look like he's staying. Nope, okay, he's going for... Okay, it is a Gargoyle that will be at the buff, but we do have a little bit more emphasis onto the main wave here to release some of the pressure that the Gargoyle will take in his defense. The Green Devil buying a lot of time as well. We do have the healing coming up, but should still be fine. We do have here the 180 Sen onto the canopy. The antler is already down, and the disciple should not be enough here to cover. While on the other side, no sense whatsoever came in. I mean, it will be a leak, but a very small one here from Wizard. And that is extra time because we need to remember Aviator and Wizard did not go for any sense here on wave 9, and that's such a pro league here. They decide to go here because they don't feel comfortable holding next wave to a reset. At least Wizard is going for that, but I do think Aviator will go as well on that wave despite seeing the double ganger on next wave for GreenSpirit. He is missing 6 gold. He will sell this. No, sorry, it's on the other side. He will sell this to get the double ganger. Alright, he has a lot of the hardened golems, so that might prove a little bit problematic here from Tyrion. But the GreenSpirit does have the Starcutter with a steed. Does he have enough frontline to give time to the Starcutter to do their damage? That's the question. While on the other side, we have double Disciple on Aviator, and we have double Disciple here onto Lizard. So there might be leaks on every side, but it will be probably Tyrion and GreenSpirit that will leak the most. Took Doppelganger will do a lot of job, but took a lot of time before going on to the boss, but still not attacked. Still not attacked by the boss, and this is crucial. But it looks like that it will still be a leak here, but a very small one in terms of boss HP, but a big one on GreenSpirit here. The Disciple not doing exactly what he wanted. So we do have some cane damage coming in here. But now, what is the spell the players decide to go for? Everybody sends, so we are on level ground. But the worker is definitely at the advantage of Aviator and Wizard. Aviator has a strong composition on wave 11 here. We do have the... Oh, that's the Lizard Army bait from Aviator and Wizard. Both going for punch up. Wave 11 is perfectly clear for him. Wave 11 is now clear for Wizard as well, but wave 12 is a little bit problematic. We do have punch up for every single player in the game, so no increase in Messium generation. But Aviator and Wizard trying to use their lead to get further ahead in terms of income by deceiving them into the Lizard Army. So, seeing the Lizard, do they decide to push or do they decide to play it safe? I do think they can play it safe for 12 and check if it makes sense. But I don't think there will be any push coming in here. We do have the egg though, so that might bait a send here on wave 12. We do have Aviator just on value here, but there's no aggressive spells. You need to remember that. So no aggressive spells on either side, meaning Aviator going for full income. Wizard continuing the bait of the lizards here. Wait, what did he sell there? He sold the green. Okay, he's full committing to showing everybody that he has punch up here. Going for the red eye, a little bit problematic because there's no send coming in from Tyrion and GreenSpirit. They are confident they will be holding. Their composition is pretty good on wave 13, so it might be a wave 14. But you need to remember that this red eye is nothing to laugh at. So GreenSpirit need to expect not too much more for a resend, and so he can start pushing. Tyrion is also pushing, so not falling for the bait of the Lizard Army. He only pushes one though for the moment. No, he pushes two. Okay, so they realize it's not Lizard Army. It was just a bait, and so no sense here from Aviator and Wizard, but no sense as well on Tyrion and GreenSpirit. For what wave do people prepare? Do we see? Oh, wait, what? No fear into that man here. Aviator going for yet another egg. I mean, that is quite a brave move, I must admit here. Okay, he's not going for it. He got me scared for a second because next wave he would have been struggling a bit, or it would have been a masterful just read of the situation. But not going for the egg here. Just waiting for the sun to come in. What do Tyrion and GreenSpirit decide to do? They do have the worker lead now, but they do not have the income lead for the moment. So does Aviator go for income king up with Wizard? Or do they go for a race on 15? 15 is not an issue for GreenSpirit. So it will be an easy hold here from GreenSpirit on wave 14. Do we have the defensive spells here? They are forcing 14 because they see the LD, they see the Pilgrim, and Tyrion Pro Leaking. That that needs to ring the alarm here from Aviator and Wizard. They need to go for that defensive send here and skip wave 15. They do not, they keep their calm here, but the Wizard sitting at 400 Mythium, not looking great on value either. And he's going to prepare, he's preparing full for, oh no, he's preparing full for 15. That could speak some big trouble. Aviator, what do you decide to do? You decide to go for another red eye. Two red eyes are not to be laughed at. The damage though is a bit lackluster here on the side of Aviator. But, I mean, 4 disciples, still a lot of damage. Will it be enough though? That's the question we are all asking ourselves. The burst damage from the board are in. It is a 500 send on to him. Is it all about Aviator? Because those LODs will not do anything from that wave. The Kraken is down though, we need to give him that. But he will be leaking no matter what. The red eyes are, only one is down, the other is still alive. The disciple are still pumping out the damage, and now no more frontline remain. What is the target? The target is this little sludge. We do have the mole being the next target, and then we have the burst onto the ogre, and it is a hold here from Aviator. No less than a hold. It's quite massive for him. He does decide to push here, but your wizard Larry does not push. To what point do we get? Yeah, that is definitely not worth it. They do. Wait, what? Wait. What are you doing, Aviator? You're sending 15 onto a Starcutter Pegasus once you just receive a send? Is it just me, or am I the only one seeing that the RAM will get evaporated by that? Yeah, I mean, sure, we will have Tyrion leaking quite a lot, so that's one thing going for them. But aren't you better going for pure income onto GreenSpirit? And the spam is just better against this kind of composition? Like Mass DT is surely better than a RAM? But he's going for a combination of the two, so it might be something I'm just not seeing here. So we're gonna focus on that because it's all on GreenSpirit. This is a definite leak here on Tyrion. But it's all about those steeds, and the steeds are just surviving. But the Ram doing a pretty good job in the end here. The steeds, yes, tanking a lot, but is it enough time for this Starcutter to do damage? He's only minus 300, and it looks like the answer is yes. The Ram was just genius here from Aviator. pushing the ram into the split, just wasting the first initial burst of the Starcaller on those DTs, and it is a leak. The Shaman is onto the King, and it is just game. So I just didn't see the avenue here on wave 15, but Aviator did, and that's one of the reasons why he's the number one at the moment. Sometimes seeing some little stuff like that, those little opportunities, not necessarily accepting that the strong wave is necessarily strong in a certain situation, just accepting we've been saving a long time. We decided to not send 14. We held strong, and we're gonna use that pressure we generated right now to avoid falling too far behind and giving them a chance to reharden the golems, exploit the weakness of Tyrion, do your best to lead GreenSpirit, and the sun was just better than expected. Was spamming little units better? Maybe, but the ramp did better than I expected, honestly. So very nicely played in the end from Aviator and your wizard Larry. Uh, and cool, calm, and collected. Those were the words of the game, and those were the calls made, potentially by both players um, together, deciding, yeah, we're gonna accept if we leak here. We just want to have the pressure after that. We're not that scared. We have the opportunity to go beyond wave 15 as well if needed, because they have also the LOD and Hades. But yeah, going for the aggression instead, and found themselves to be successful in it. So very well played, and thank you for watching. Hope you liked it, and see you next time.